Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, the job market. I bring up the job market because I wanted to share my input on it as an artist / small business. I have only had my small business open for a year and business has been reasonably slow. I am also a senior in college. I mention all of this to say that I need a consistent job in the meantime. I hear a lot of talk on social media saying that people should quit their day job and start their own business. However, starting your own business isn't easy. People need jobs to take care of their bills and pay for business materials. Also, there's nothing wrong with having only a day job or having a day job, but that's a whole nother topic. So to talk about the job market, where do we even begin? I have been looking for jobs for over a year. I know that's not a long time compared to everyone else, but still. I have applied for jobs on LinkedIn, Indeed, Google, through my school site called Handshake, and other sites I have forgotten the names of. But no matter the site, the response is still the same. No one is responding back to applicants, not even to reject them. I know you don't get responses in 2 days, but responses are still not coming in even a month or 2 months later. It's very frustrating, especially when people say no one, especially not Gen Z, wants to work. Trust me, I know plenty of people my age who desperately need jobs, but no one is getting back to them. My mom, who is in her 50s, said that one job didn't give her a position until a year later after she applied. No one has that kind of time to wait for a corporation to respond to them. Not with inflation, the economy in the dumpster, and people are being laid off. Now, I can't imagine how busy HR or hiring managers must be with hundreds of applications. That's why I understand if it takes them up to 2 weeks, but months? I know grace must especially be given to federal or state jobs, but everyone else is kind of like, come on now. I've heard the advice to walk in and talk to management, but most people will tell you to apply online or they will brush you off. But I understand where this advice is coming from, and I'm not saying it can't be useful. I'm just saying it may not be useful or apply to every job that you apply for, especially if the job is online. Besides the job market, can we talk about job listings? Companies list long explanations for jobs that can be described in one word. Like, you don't have to say register, operator, or trusted staff. You can just say cashier or waitress. It's completely okay. People understand what type of job they're signing up for. Just be honest about what the job is really about. However, this video is not supposed to be all woe is me, but to show people that they're not alone in their frustrations. Just because you are not hearing back from jobs does not mean you are not trying your best. Speaking of job listings, now you have to worry about scam listings on LinkedIn. Like, great, the 10 jobs I spent a lot of time applying for may be scams. For this next point, I want to get more feedback, more perspective on this one. I've heard of companies using AI or special software to read through resumes. Like, they program the AI or program the software to look for certain keywords. How popular is this idea? Is this a new thing that every company is trying, or only big corporations like Disney per se? So it turns out it may be possible technology could be overlooking the applicants who could be bringing a lot more to the table. Like, it could be overlooking candidates that can bring more sociable or interpersonal skills. It could be overlooking candidates that have great connections with other business people. With that, jobs should be more willing to hire people for the job. Even if that person may be quote unquote overqualified for that position, clearly they need that job at the moment. Well, maybe hopefully people in the comments can add their perspective on why jobs don't hire overqualified candidates. Is because they're afraid that the person will eventually quit, or they're afraid that they're going to ask for too much money and they don't want to pay them? What's up with that? Generally asking. Like, my friend wouldn't get hired back by McDonald's again because she had worked for them many years ago. I mean, if someone is willing to work, let them work. Now, going back to my point of how a lot of people act like no one, especially Gen Z, wants to work. Some of these people don't understand that no one wants to deal with unfair working conditions, especially Gen Z. Gen Z doesn't want to deal with managers talking to them any kind of way, nor deal with the fact that they can't take vacations when they want. Again, I know this doesn't apply to all jobs. It's just some jobs. It just seems like most corporate jobs, or the main jobs people tell you to apply for, they want you to take work on weekends and just take your vacation away. Again, I know this doesn't apply to all jobs, just some.
Gen Z doesn't like the idea of going into a job you hate for 40 years. I know this doesn't only apply to Gen Z, it's just that I am Gen Z, so I'm specifically talking about that generation. Now, sure, not every job you have will allow you to have a meaningful impact on the world, but it would be nice to have a job you don't completely hate. But I also understand that is a luxury and people need to make ends meet with any job that pays. Now, getting back to the job market for artists. When looking for art jobs, most art jobs are related to graphic design or digital art. But when you're a traditional artist or have an art degree in painting, finding jobs in that realm is a little tricky. Not to mention, not everyone is always looking to fill their walls with art, or everyone only has so much wall and refrigerator space. Since I manage my social media, small business social media accounts, I've started applying for social media and marketing jobs. I have even included content creator on my resume, which feels weird. It feels weird since I don't have a huge social media presence. Speaking of resumes, I have edited mine more times than I can count. Anyways, I'm still trying to learn what other jobs I can apply for. Some art jobs want you to have published work in like magazines or books and years of professional experience, which is hard to obtain these days. Everyone is saying get experience and we will hire you. Not everyone wants to hire so people can get that experience. An art mutual of mine has changed her business into painting windows or murals. Sorry, I'm Southern, so I can't talk. Anyway, I plan to look more into painting murals or painting windows as a job opportunity. But even with that, I would like something with a more consistent income or more consistent work week. I don't mind working in the office or in a cubicle as long as I have time for my personal life and my art. If anyone has any job advice to offer for artists or know of videos describing of such opportunities, feel free to let me know in the comments. For more job opportunities in the art industry, I plan to move to a place like Chicago in the future. I currently live in the South, and there is not much opportunity in the South as there is in Chicago. With the job market, a lot of people move to different states for the hope of more opportunities. Moving your entire life for the hopes of an opportunity is a difficult choice that a lot of people have to make. I know I'm all over the place, but so is the job market. So anyways, because of the state of the job market, I understand why more people are trying to become content creators. I understand why people were upset with the thought of TikTok getting banned. Now, content creation is by no means a stable career, but it is the only option for some people. I mean, nothing is stable at the moment, so why not give content creation a try? Why not try to make content about random topics? Why not make a YouTube video of a speed drawing with a voiceover rambling about life issues? I know some people were calling those who were sad about the TikTok ban dramatic. Social media is how some people pay their bills while staying up to date on news of the world. And at least they can post when they want and leave the app for a short break while still making money. With the difficulty of finding a job, I understand the need to hold on to your job even if your job is not the best. Now, I know I mentioned no one, especially Gen Z, wants to deal with unfair working conditions. However, again, for some people, that fact or that want is a luxury, or it's seen as a want, yes. Or they want to make sure that there is a next job fully lined up before leaving their current one. They don't want to put all their eggs in one basket that may not be there. Speaking of which, again, I know I'm all over the place, but even as I write the script, thoughts are coming to me out of order. But again, speaking of not putting eggs in one basket, I want to emphasize to make sure that your finances are overall okay to take the risk of quitting your job and to take the risk of starting your own business. As I have mentioned, my business has only been open officially for a year. I've had a lot of sales rolling in over that 1 year, but not as consistently as I want them to. With that being said, it's only because of family and the grace of God that I am able to stay afloat. I don't regret leaving my seasonal job at a restaurant. I had to leave due to going away for college and needing more time to enjoy the college breaks. But I do wish I would have spent more time looking for a remote job as a backup, or I really wish I would have considered more of the time and money spent that would go into buying packing material and products with my branding. For example, I stopped working in January 2023. I wish I would have looked for a more consistent job during the summer. But I can't ponder forever on the shoulda, woulda, coulda. However, I'm restating my experience to hopefully give another perspective to people, specifically college students, thinking about starting a small business. Also, with the discussion of a small business, you don't have to leave your job to start a business. Not everyone is meant to start a business, and that is completely okay. If you're happy with your job and you like your work-life balance, stick with it. Also, congrats to you for finding a job you like. Also, props to you for the hard work you have put into your job. I hope you are able to get whatever you want with your income and still have savings left over. Also, don't listen to all the talk on social media about how you must start your own business now. You don't have to. The decision is yours, and it can be a very hard decision. Also, don't let anyone make you feel bad for having a job. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher, a janitor, or a cashier at McDonald's. Someone must do those jobs. A job is a job. Also, jobs like those aren't simple. There's a lot that goes into having jobs like that. Having a small business is not necessarily better than having a day job for some people, and that is completely valid. Plus, that's less time you will spend on learning to market your business and less time you will spend trying to get your name out there. I wanted to briefly mention the government laying off certain sectors. This is not me trying to start a political argument. This is not me trying to start a political argument in the comments. This video is completely my opinion, my perspective, or hearsay if you couldn't tell by now. Probably should have said that at the beginning. Oh well. Anyways, a peer of mine has a major or interest in conservation and environmental science. She told me of a grad student she is friends with, and that grad student has to now rethink their options due to cuts of the Environmental Protection Agency. That fact is scary to me. I always thought of federal jobs of having absolute job security. Now, I know not every job, you can get laid off from job anytime, but I just thought it was like, once you have that job, you're set for life, Again, I know that's not me. I know that is not based on fact. It's just what I always thought growing up. Now, with the Department of Education at risk, it seems a lot more jobs are up in the air. Just the thought of that is so hard to believe. Again, I know that jobs are not secure, that you can get laid off at any time, or that your job can be taken away. But just the thought of easily is a piece of paper says, hey, you got to get out of here. You no longer have the income to consistently save up so you can retire at 65. You have to look for something else. Just imagine you had a job starting at 20 and you've been working there yeah, like you had a job starting at 20, now you're 47. So to get laid off and then having to look for something else because you still don't have the income to retire at 65 or even sooner is just absolutely wild to me. And I can't believe that's the reality for some people. And I can't believe that will continue to be reality for some people. I wish there was more that I could do to help or advice I could offer, but there's nothing I can do. However, if there is something I can do, like protest or just vote on certain things or petition, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, just the thought that the jobs that you thought were secure are no longer not is very scary and hard to believe, especially in this economy where everything seems to be going up, Again, it's just completely wild. To my people still looking for jobs, don't listen to people saying you are not trying your best. Just because you don't have a 6-figure job does not mean you are not trying your best. Just because you are not making money like the rest of your friends does not mean you are not trying your best. And it does not mean you are not trying. Just because you are not racking in sales with your business does not mean you are not doing the best you can. Remember, your best looks different from your friend's best. Your limitations are not everyone else's. You are trying, and I hope you know that somebody sees that you are trying. Even if no one else does, I can see that you're trying. Especially in today's world, a lot more people should be giving credit for how they are trying to look for a job or how they are trying to do the right thing. All right, and that is all the rambling I have about the job market. If you have any other video ideas for me or any other topics you would like me to cover on this channel, please let me know in the comments, or feel free to share your thoughts about the job market or anything I said. And if I said something that came off as judgmental or just incorrect information, I apologize, and I will learn to do more research and correct myself in the future. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to me ramble for so long. Thank you for making it to the end. All right, have a good day, have a good night, have a good morning, and see you next time.